Joining me is Praveen Iyer, co-founder and chief commercial officer, Akasa Air. Praveen, what a pleasure to see you here. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to begin by asking, 3 years into the industry, tell me, how has the airline fared in terms of operational efficiency and also on revenues?
No, frankly, first of all, thank you for embracing us. 3 years seems like a very short time. We're very happy overall with the performance. Have had some ups and downs, we all know that. But frankly, from what we anticipated versus where we are today, extremely happy. I think the revenue environment is one of the best that we can see. And there is still loads of rooms for improvement on the revenue side. So all in all, a great journey for us and looking forward to some more exciting times.
Great. 30 aircrafts already in your fleet. You've announced that you plan to add a couple more. In fact, one close to about, say, 195, 196 will come in by 2032. With this fleet expansion plans, what key routes and sectors are you also targeting?
So really looking forward to the two big airports coming up in India, Navi Mumbai and Noida. And that's our next set of expansion that we will have as we build our network around these two airports. We also went up from 16 departures in Delhi to 24, effective interstate. So added a lot of routes to Calcutta, Bagdogra, etc. From Delhi, because mind you, Delhi has been one metro where the departures have been the lowest so far. But clearly, apart from these two, Navi Mumbai and DXN, Dibrugarh is the other. We could start towards the end of this year or early next year. And then first to second quarter of next year, we will look to expand into other promising international markets and domestic markets. Several markets in the fray. So I'm not going to rattle out names because it'll almost feel like we're going to have a lot of expansion in the first 2 quarters of the next year. But all in all, like I said, exciting times in the industry, and more importantly, looking forward to serve every other destination. Some destinations may get delayed, bear with us, because there's just so many airplanes that we can fly, 30, many more to come, an order book of 226. We are awaiting 196 more deliveries over the next 7 years. But again, excited with the growth trajectory, excited with the potential that India is presenting, and excited with the way the infrastructure is being unlocked across the country. I think a great time to be in the industry.
Great time to be in the industry. While you're on mapping the chessboard when it comes to the destinations, how have the current destinations, especially internationally, been performing, especially since you're also targeting a lot on the MENA market, the Gulf side of it? Do you see satisfactory occupancy in terms of passenger load?
Oh, fantastic. In fact, the Gulf region has always been a cash cow for airlines, both the Gulf side and the India side. We fly over 30 departures a week into Jeddah from Cochin, Ahmedabad, Bombay. We are going to launch Calicut very soon. We also fly from Bangalore to Jeddah. Riyadh is another destination. Amazing markets to Saudi Arabia from India. UAE is the other. We have a very strong code-share relationship with Etihad. So we fly from Bombay, Bangalore, Cochin and Chennai into Abu Dhabi. And we have Kuwait, Doha operations as well when it comes to the Gulf. And we recently launched Phuket from Bombay and Bangalore. Again, Indians want to spend. People want to visit India. So all in all, couldn't have been a better time for us to launch these new destinations, and more so Gulf, which continues to be a very strong demand pattern that we see. Of course, bilaterally constrained, some of these markets are, and we hope these bilaterals get opened up and we get more than the required traffic rights to these points over and above what we already have today.
Okay. And clearly, right time to also come up with an IPO, or at least plan one.
I think it's 2 to 5 years away, and frankly, we're not thinking about the IPO. We want to build an honest airline. I'm often asked, what do you think about duopoly, etc. But frankly, we are only focused about us. In a market where there is enough and more unmet demand, unfulfilled demand, I think it should be inward looking than outward looking. So we're looking at ourselves. We want to build a strong airline. We want to give it 1 year at a time. The IPO, I know Vinay talked about 2 to 5 years. It's a long way away. We don't want to worry about that too much. As a chief commercial officer, the objective is to build a strong network, run a very healthy network with the right kind of pricing and the right kind of load factors, which are super critical as you build the RASK for an airline. And more importantly, fulfill the demand gap that exists today, right? And the reason why I insist on this as much as I do is because the capacity that's getting unlocked in Navi Mumbai and DXM, as they call it, Noida, is coming at the backs of no more than 2% CAGR on the ASKs between 2015 and 2024. So you can imagine so much of unfulfilled demand from NCR and from the MMR region both. And now that they open up and they get unlocked, I think the customers are going to get a lot of choice. They're going to be generally very happy with what they're seeing and the destinations being served. So all in all, it could never be a better time to be in this industry.
Never to be a better time, and that is where I wanted to come. And this is not airline specific, but the fact that there is some apprehension and skepticism with the turbulences that Indian aviation sector has been fighting for some time now, and that kind of, I'd use an aviation term, deroutes a lot of airlines from turning profitable. Do you think that skepticism is something that bothers growth plans for an airline? Oh, like yours? Which is the fastest growing?
So my take about this is very simple. If you plan well, if you have the right business model, and if you execute your plan to the T, I don't see any reason for failure. Yes, it has been a very challenging period pre-COVID, and not surprising, and I'll tell you why. A market which has seen 19% CAGR growth in capacity between 2003 and 2019 is bound to have issues because you're 2.5, 3x versus your GDP on the growth trajectory. That essentially means you're inducing demand. When you induce demand, you play with price, unfortunately. You end up making mistakes around flying into the wrong destinations, etc. That is not what you will see moving forward. 2019 through 2024, it's a 3% CAGR on ASKs. Between 2025 through 2047, based on the estimates that we have drawn, on the aircraft availability, on the demand generation side, and on the infrastructure availability side, the CAGR is going to be no more than 6-7%. That dovetails into the GDP growth. When you have an industry growing in line with the economy, you will not see failures. Which is why I keep saying this. Exciting times to be, not for the fun of it, but to grow an industry profitably. And that is the difference that you will see moving forward with this industry.
Great. One last quick question. You've spoken about further access in terms of the Gulf market, and that's a debate to be done on the regulatory front also. China is this another destination that now government has in fact also opened up its conversations and dialogue with them. Do we see Akasa flying to China soon, or at least thinking about it?
It's in our radar. It's a market we would like to fly into. This has been a part of boardroom discussions or closed room discussions, not as much boardroom, but closed room discussions in the commercial teams to say, can we look at China? Can we look at Chengdu? Can we look at Guangzhou, etc. as markets to fly in? And yeah, we will evaluate them. We have a bunch of analysts who don't get carried away with emotions. All they get carried away is with numbers. They're going to evaluate them and decide whether we want to fly to China or not.
Yeah, and you've also shared interest in flying to East Asian countries, which is also on track.
Absolutely. So markets like Thailand, Vietnam, markets like Singapore, Hong Kong, and even Malaysia and Indonesia are really lucrative the way we see it. We need to build and expand our network slowly but surely, because we are not here to come and go from markets. We want sustainable growth in every market. So like I said, several plans have been drawn, and we will start unlocking them one by one.
Thank you very much, Praveen, for joining us and wishing you good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you.